First, we should tell you a little bit about who we are. Fusion is a program at Paradise High School that focuses on music and technology. We learn to read, write, and record music, and also run live sound.
We had many different ideas of what to choose for our Hall of Fame project. We tossed around the idea of maybe a punk rock Hall of Fame, as well as a Hall of Fame for Paradise High School itself. In the end, we chose techno music to be featured in our project. We chose techno music because it incorporates music with technology. As a fusion program, this intrigued us the most, and we felt that we could excel with this topic.
Our first nominee is Kraftwerk. Kraftwerk is a band that started mainly of two members named Ralph Hutter and Florian Snyder in 1970. They both attended Robert Schumann's school in Dusseldorf, Germany. They started out with the name Organization, but they quickly left and changed to the name of Kraftwerk. Kraftwerk to this day engraved in musical history. Kraftwerk are to techno what Muddy Waters is to Rolling Stones, the authentic, the original, the real. Kidwo Ishun said this. Lon Adkins has acknowledged that he had an early enthusiasm for Kraftwerk for their influence on bands and artists such as David Bowie, Afrika Bambaataa, and Neil Young. Kraftwerk was so big that they even received a nomination for the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, but failed in 2003. They are largely accredited for electro boogie, with video game sound effects and hard rhythms. Electro boogie is a forerunner of Detroit techno school of house music, and house DJs continue to incorporate Kraftwerk's records into their live albums. Kraftwerk popularized electronic music, and their albums Autobahn reached number 5 on the Billboard charts. Some singles even reached number 25. With success came hardships, as both Hutter and Snyder at one point even left the group. The group had numerous breakups, but always got back together. We feel that the groundbreaking work that Kraftwerk achieved in techno music makes them very qualified to be induced in our own Techno Hall of Fame.
Daft Punk is an electronic duo that consists of French musicians Thomas Bangalter and Guy Manuel de Homem-Christo. There are numerous artists who helped inspire the group to fame, and it's reported that both artists have rock and roll bands that they both enjoyed. However, their music is much more techno and futuristic. The duo has been recognized as the most influential music group to permanently change the way French house music is performed. After Daft Punk became popular, all types of electronic techno music bands were born. Some examples would be Ed Banger, Arcade Mode, Billy Wynn, Baby Dayliner, Aluminum Forest, and many more. Homework, their 1997 debut album, brought dance music into the mainstream. Their music would be described as an innovative synthesis of techno, house, and acid house, and electronic styles. A number of these tracks have been covered by other artists, including Busta Rhymes, Kanye West, and Missy Elliott. They all sampled or covered a number of Daft Punk tracks. Outside of the recording scene, Daft Punk produced a design for Coca-Cola bottles that were sold for a limited time in France. The duo also created the music for the 2010 film Tron Legacy. Daft Punk has created the role of techno artists and paved the way for futuristic artists. They haven't won many awards, but they have been nominated several times, such as in 2009 they won 2 awards. First was Best Dance Recording for the song Better, Harder, Faster, Stronger. The second award they won was Best Electronic Dance Album for the album Alive, produced in 2007. They started a musical genre that has been carried on for a long time. They are still around today and creating music, and that's why we think that they should be in the Techno Hall of Fame for us, because they are a modern-day techno group that has really paved the way for many artists today.
1963, a single child raised largely by his mother. At the age of 13, he began attending a school in the suburbs of Belleville. There he met Juan Atkins. By 1981, Atkins had taught May the essence of DJing, and they formed the Deep Space Soundworks, a collective existing to present their favorite music at parties and clubs. May's career started in 1987 with the release of the record called Nude Photos, co-written by Thomas Burnett, which helped kickstart the Detroit techno music scene. If anyone was to represent the sound of the early Detroit techno, it was Derek May. The music was for a time characterized as Detroit's high-tech interpretations of Chicago house, rather than a relatively pure genre onto itself. May's early productions, Rhythm is Rhythm, were as haunting as they were uplifting, creating a fitting soundtrack to Detroit's post-urbanization. His track Strings of Life placed the electronic music of the city apart from the early Chicago house. Derek May influenced the lives of the second technocrats, like Carl Craig, Stacy Pullen, Kenny Larkins, and Richie Hawkins. A saying that has been a tribute to Mays in his description of his own techno. George Clinton meeting Kraftwerk in the elevator. He has sometimes been referred to as a Miles Davis of techno. Derek May has set the standards for techno music and influenced many other artists. His originality was one of the major reasons we inducted him into our Techno Hall of Fame.
In conclusion, we should mention that we also considered many other artists for our Techno Hall of Fame, including Juan Atkins, New Order, and The Orb. The Paradise High School Music Tech class would also like to thank the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame for the opportunity to voice our choice for our own Hall of Fame.
And the jam is pumping, look ahead, the crowd is jumping. Pump it up a little more, get the party going on the dance floor.